It's Tuesday. We're almost done with Tuesday. Almost halfway through the week. Yay! While we're waiting on folks to join, reminding you that Cooped Up is my website. You can visit that anytime. I'm Cooped Up is my handle in all of the social places. Would love a follow, particularly if you are on Instagram. I'm Cooped Up is where you can find me. And wherever you watch or listen to this, this is broadcast on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and rebroadcast on all of the audio podcast platforms, as well as Spotify video. So click the bell, notification thing, whatever, so that you don't miss a second. You can follow along, even if it's after the fact. I love it when you watch live, but if you can't watch it live, I love that you watch it anyway. So, or listen along. So anyway, hope everyone is doing well today. I am wrapping up day number 2 of this new diet. I started yesterday, the Optavia diet, which is basically you eat a bunch of space food like 6 times a day, 5 times a day, and then you have one meal, drink a ton of water. And yesterday I was really kind of struggling with it. It was a struggle bus. Hey, Mama, good to see you. Yesterday I was very, very hungry the whole day, and I was kind of getting a little overwhelmed with the whole eating every 2 to 3 hours and what that meant, and did it actually satisfy me, all that kind of stuff, right? Today is significantly better, I will say. I woke up and I was not hungry when I woke up. I did go to bed hungry last night though, but miraculously I was not hungry when I woke up. Started the morning. And throughout the day, I have been feeling fine. I'm a little hungry right now, but not really all that much anymore. So they said that the first 3 days are the hardest. So I'm hoping that yesterday was the very hardest. Today was a little easier, and tomorrow will be hopefully there's not a crash after. Please tell me there's not a crash at the 3-day mark. Please, somebody. Here's the surprising thing, though, and again, you get this big box of food. It is a lot of like highly processed stuff, which I'm normally not a big fan of, but I'm just trying to lose these like 20, 25 pounds, 30 if I can get there, and then kind of go back to eating regular food. But they're all engineered to be plug and play, so you can have a little bag of chips that they sell you, or they sell you all this stuff, a little bag of chips, or a bar, or a smoothie, or a brownie, or a bowl of penne pasta, and I bowl very loosely. The portions are very controlled. It's about 100, 110 calories, low calorie, low carb things, but high in protein. So they are filling, I'll say. So this morning, I did have a little bit of not a mistake. Like it's in no way compromising the diet. It's just not what I plan to do. So what I have done the last 2 nights, and I will continue, I have a Ziploc bag that says Cooper's Food on it. And I go in the night before and I pick out my 5 things that I'm going to eat from the space food box, basically. And then I already know, I've already planned out my one meal, which, by the way, was a big-ass meal last night. I'll get to that in a minute. And so I had picked out for today, I picked out a chocolate smoothie. The one strawberry one yesterday was fantastic. A chocolate smoothie, some like fudge crumble bar thing, a bag of these barbecue like crunchers, like they're almost like Cheetos. Fantastic, by the way. And what was the other thing? A little thing of penne pasta. And I don't remember what the other thing was. No, I haven't picked it out yet because it's an after dinner one. And so I did all of that. But this morning I woke up a little late, and in my kind of haste to get out the door and get everything made, I accidentally made the brownie in the smoothie machine. And I'm like, why does this have chocolate chips in it? And I'm drinking it. It tasted wonderful. Didn't make me sick or anything. I at least not yet. But I had a brownie for breakfast in the form of a smoothie. So there's that. So then I ended up swapping out the smoothie for something else later in the day. But I will tell you, I at first was like, oh my God, how do people, when I was first thinking about doing this Optavia diet, I was like, how do people who have jobs and productive lives eat 6 times a day? How is that possible? It's actually really, really easy. And I'm not trying to sell you on this. I'm just talking through my process and all of that. The uh, you save so much time when what you're eating is just a bar or a little bag of chips. The chips are really good, by the way, the barbecue crunchers. I had this cheddar jalapeno poppers thing yesterday. It was I mean, I would crunch on those, but the barbecue ones today, I'm definitely reordering those. Um, but I ended up going to work and I worked a solid like I got there at like 9:30 and I was running late, and I didn't leave until 3:30, and I did not stop for lunch. So that was like a full day for me, like really, like super productive day. And I'm on it because I'm not drinking also. And last night I had some club soda. I put a little splash of cranberry juice in it, little diet cran, little five calorie I think per serving per 8 ounce serving, and I'm just doing a splash. So um, that suited me well. And then I had the brownie bar, I had the crunchers. Oh, and then just about at 3:30, so it's 4:30 now. At 3:30, I had a little bowl of penne pasta, and basically it's like a little packet. They call them sachets. They won't be all fancy and stuff. Little sachet. I'm still working out. Pam is saying I did it in 2021. Yay! I'm the people I know who have done. I've had so many people text me saying I was super successful. I had someone last night text me, I lost 95 pounds. I have another friend who lost like 65 pounds and not by trying very hard. So, and supposedly it changes like your eating patterns and such too. I will say there's this thing called the Life Book, and I don't have it with me right now. The coach that I'm under keeps trying to push me to like read the Life Book for 5 minutes a day. I'm like, I'm not sure I'm into I already got Oprah right here. I'm not sure I need the life book thing. Did you do the life book where it talks about your why and your mission and resetting your life? And I don't know, it feels a little too touchy feely for me. Um, but I will tell you that I think my microwave here, no to the book, babe. I'm gonna look through it, see what it has. Maybe I do transform my life. What would Oprah do? What would Oprah do? Um, but it is easy. Like I'm really, really happy with the ease of which it is working. Um, but the penne pasta, so I think that in the chili, I totally burned the chili yesterday. I just kind of had to scrape it out of the bowl and eat it dry because I followed the directions, but my microwave must be more powerful than their directions stand for it. So I either need to, and the penne pasta today was a little on the dry side, not as bad as yesterday's. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a combination of adding more water because there's no calories in water, and uh, maybe cooking it a little less time. The second round because you have to cook it everything for like 8 minutes total. It's a little crazy how long you have to cook them, but not super hungry today. I am feeling it. So my test is going to be I have 2 lunch appointments this week. I have one with my friend Allison on Thursday. So I will be swapping my one meal a day for a lunch meal. And then I have with Eric, who is saying, I hope it all goes well for you. I may try it if you're successful. I'll keep you posted. I am not going to become a coach. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I'm just telling my story, processing externally. Just want to be super clear on that. Not that you were saying that, but just want to make sure I'm clear on that. But so then I have lunch. I've already decided that Friday I will probably cheat at lunch because it is Eric and Craig, and it's usually a long lunch. I've already told Todd, do not count on me for any purpose don't count on me to pick up the kids. Don't count on me to do anything that afternoon. So that may be kind of a waste of a day. We will see. I know. I hope it's not. Pam, tell me this. Is it so strict that if you fall off of it like for one meal that you've derailed yourself, like Atkins is? Because like Weight Watchers, when I've done that, I was actually very successful at Weight Watchers. I just got kind of tired of the math part of it. But Weight Watchers was like you just get back on it and you're fine, right? So anyway, so I did not die. The long and the short of it is day 2 of the diet, and I did not die. I am going to have to miss tacos Thursday night because we have an event that I'm actually one of the hosts of, tacos and tours for our new campus, and I can't have the tacos, Well, I'm not going to decide that yet. I may not be able to have what's outside the taco. I may be able to have inside. Um, and if I do, it can throw off the scale for a couple of days, but you'll continue to lose. That's good to know. Um, Again, I'm not. I'm trying to lose 25 pounds. My number keeps changing. At first, it was 20, and then it was 25. Now I'm like 25 to 30. You know. So, um, Mom is asking, how were your waffles last night? Well, they're actually going to be tonight. So we had a little. Amazon was not able to. So our waffle maker broke. Our big waffle maker. I have the little waffle makers, but they're not big enough for what we're making tonight. Tonight we are having tuna melt waffles over a bed of arugula, and it's come straight from their recipe book. It's all predetermined and all that kind of stuff. But our waffle maker broke, so I ordered a new one on Amazon. But lately, Amazon has been letting me down with it's saying, "Oh, it'll be delivered tomorrow between 10 and 2 or whatever," and it's more like between 10 and 2, like in the nighttime. And I'm reading it correctly. It's just they're getting behind on stuff. So instead, so it was delivered at like 9 o'clock last night, and we had already fully eaten. I was already on my like sixth meal of the day because I had to have another one after that, like at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Um, but so last night we had, it was fantastic actually, salmon, lemon pepper salmon with Parmesan garlic asparagus. I made it again from the Optavia cook the app. It's a sheet pan. I put 5 pieces of salmon or 4 pieces of salmon. I think it was 5 actually. 5 pieces of salmon on this thing. Put some lemon pepper on them. Put some lemon slices on them. There in the middle, and then around the edges, I put some asparagus. Sprayed it with a little olive oil. This is all in the recipe. And then took Parmesan cheese and garlic powder and sprinkled it on. Cooked it in the oven at like 400. I think it was like 15 minutes. The garlic got crispy with the Parmesan. The asparagus was so good, and the salmon was very good too. Everyone else had to add salt to theirs. I'm not supposed to, so I did not. So that was that. There was that, but it was so good. But it was a lot of food because you have to have the 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 ounces of protein, which that part's not tremendous. But you have to have 3 servings of vegetables. And so I ate, I mean, my plate looked like I had just had a big bunch of, I mean, just a whole thing of asparagus, a whole package of asparagus with a little bit of salmon on it. So some smelly pea in this house last night. But yes, Pam is saying, I'll tell you, load up on veggies. If you're hungry, I'll always cut up some veggies and would throw that in with the snack. Yes. They keep telling me, eat a cucumber, eat a dill pickle. What's the deal with dill pickles? Why is that like such a big thing? Well, I can have like 10 almonds. So I've also learned today, I did not know this yesterday, that you are allowed to have an optional snack and it's like a list of like random things, like a pickle, piece of low calorie cheese, that sort of thing. Like you can have like a Gatorade kind of thing. Not that specifically, but there's electrolytes, exactly. But yeah, so we'll see. So tomorrow I will do the same thing where I will have my big meal in the evening, but then Thursday and Friday I have mine at lunch, and then I will just have. We always order pizza on Friday nights, and so I will not partake in that. I will instead have some sort of miniature bowl of little thimble of chili or something. It should be fine. So anyway. On the food thing, this will turn your stomach. How about if all this diet stuff doesn't? So I learned yesterday, after I got off the show yesterday, that Mason, my son, my beloved teenager son, Mason, 8th grade, over the break, because we had our fall break, the kids were off school for a week, left on Friday and forgot to bring his lunch home from school. And so his lunchbox sat in his locker the entire break. So for like 11 days, it sat in his locker. Came home yesterday afternoon. And because my kids, and it was actually even longer than that, because the last Friday, they had pizza. Friday's always pizza day, and they participate in that. So it's sort of been from, even further along than that. Because on Thursdays, he has the Chick-fil-A at school. He eats at school Thursday, Chick-fil-A and Pizza Hut days. And then Claire eats Chipotle on Tuesdays and pizza on Fridays. So since Wednesday, so almost 2 weeks had gone by. Tomorrow will have been 2 weeks. Mason's lunchbox had been sitting in his locker at school, and he had forgotten it there. And because my kids are a little bougie, sometimes they have little bougie lunches and such. This was one of those cases. Mason had taken and had not finished his sushi lunch that day. So they get back to school. His locker is having a stench because there is some sushi. It is in a glass container, but I think there's only so much you can do to control that smell. Because supposedly another student threw up about it. The teacher was kind of pissed off about it. She gave me a little sass yesterday, but today about it this morning. Is there sushi in the lunchbox? But yeah, so there was sushi, and it was Aldi sushi, which Aldi actually has great sushi. It's frozen. You can just throw it in the lunchbox in the morning, and it defrosts in time for lunchtime. The kids love it. It's good as California rolls. So it's not like hardcore like sashimi or nigiri or anything like that. It's just a California roll, but still. So then add in like cream cheese and stuff too to that. But I did not smell it, but supposedly it was so rank. They got back and they got his lunchbox. I guess he opened it or something also, which added to it. And the smell was so terrible. So 2-week-old sushi left in an eighth grader's locker for 2 weeks. So I'm really surprised we did not get a note home saying no more sushi allowed. More like just pay the fuck attention, kid. Burn it. Yes, I'm assuming that's Raven. Usually you're the one who shows up saying Facebook user. Is that you too? I assume it is. Dear Lord, I know. I mean, isn't that? I can't even imagine. And Kelly's also like, bleh. Yes, yeah. That's what I mean. When I heard about it, I was like, just throw. That was my whole thing. I was like, why don't you just go out to throw the container away in the dumpster? None of us want to rinse that out either. It's fine. It's fine. And it's a glass container with a nice lid. It's actually a very nice container that we use for the lunches. But I was like, not worth it. Throw it away. Yuck. I know. But I think what did he take for lunch today? I'm not sure. He took a hot dog yesterday. And I think he knew that he had forgotten his lunchbox and did not say anything because he packed it in a big Ziploc bag and put it in his backpack before I realized he did not actually have his lunchbox. Sneaky, that one. And because he takes ADHD medication, that is an appetite suppressant in some kids. And it sometimes is, sometimes isn't. So sometimes he eats his whole lunch. Sometimes he'll eat just a few bites of lunch. And then it's left. And I suspect on this day, the sushi was a large serving of blue sushi. So buy some cheap, strong ground coffee and sprinkle in his locker, my mom is saying. It's amazing how good it works to take a horrible smell out. Dead mouse I couldn't get to. Yeah, ugh. We had a squirrel die in the wall of my office about 4 years ago. And it was terrible. And the only thing that would work is this. I didn't try coffee, but there's this like something red, and it's like a little jar. It looks like a jar full of urine, honestly, like a little thing of fox pee or something, but it wasn't that. You take the lid off. It is the strongest lemon smell you will ever smell in your life, but it and then clears everything up. So yeah, crazy. But yes, I will check with. That's a great idea, Mom. I will check with the teacher and see if they still need to get some of the smell out. Rat sorb, yes, that's what it is called, Kelly. Rat sorb. That was the thing. A product I never thought I needed, never wanted to need, but now that I know, it's perfect. On the topic of scary things, I have 2 Halloween things. One, it is the time of year when people start complaining about Christmas stuff being on display next to Halloween stuff or whatever, and how it disrespects Halloween and it disrespects Thanksgiving for Christmas to be put out too early. To that I say, shut the fuck up. I just do not understand the outrage about that. Maybe you're not a Christmas decorator. It's fine. I'm not a Halloween decorator. It does not harm me in any way that there's a headless horseman at the Home Depot next to Santa Claus. It does not bother me in any way. Sometimes I think maybe it opens a secret portal to hell, but other than that, like, I think it's fine. But how do you disrespect Halloween? How do you disrespect Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving decorations are like the lamest. It's basically Halloween decorations without the spookiness. Like, literally, Halloween. If you decorate for Halloween, you could just get rid of the skeleton and just leave the pumpkins, add some leaves to it, and there you got a new thing. So, um, and Beth's saying, great reaction. Christmas can be anytime after September. Yes. Here's my other thing on that is it is very obvious how much money the Christmas stuff makes for the stores based on when they put it out. If Halloween were as profitable for the American economy, for retailers, all of these things, Halloween would be out in August also, or September. But it is not, because it is not as profitable. And also, my mom is pointing out here, stores ordered early for Christmas due to late last year. Yes. And where's Skinny Bitch? Skinny, literally on the other side of this wall is where Skinny Bitch is still sleeping at the moment. So I need to get Skinny Bitch out, come for a visit. I keep forgetting. Facebook keeps reminding me about it. So about him. Skinny, for those of you who don't know, Skinny Bitch is my skeletally thin homosexual best friend who only comes to visit once a year for like the month of October and stays, and he's thin. Liquor goes right through him, and he doesn't like children very much, but he likes to hang out and pose and wave at all the passersby. I'll drive around with him in my car, put him on the front porch waving at people, all of that. I'm late. Skinny Bitch is 4 days late. Got to get on it. The other thing I had a topic on here is Hocus Pocus 2. Who watched it? Who watched Hocus Pocus 2? I have not seen it yet. I've heard it was delightful. Here's my thing. I do not, and this is probably sacrilege, and people are going to get mad at me and all this stuff. I don't understand the appeal of the first one at all. Like, I do not understand Hocus Pocus, the first one, was actually a flop at the box office. It was not a success. And it wasn't until, I think, what was that, like 30 years ago? I think that like not the Gen Xers, that's us. I think like the Gen Zs or whatever, for some reason, it caught on with them like 10 years later. Like, so only like 15 to 20 years ago, they started watching it as kids, and they're all like, oh, it's the best movie ever. And everyone just loves it. I have someone who works with me who's just like, it's my favorite movie of all time. I don't get it. I don't hate it. I just don't get it. It's just kind of like not a Hallmark movie. It's just a silly movie, right? But I would never call it like my favorite movie of all time. But Hocus Pocus 2 came out, and people are, she thinks it's Billy the Zombie. I think it's a very cute movie. I like all of it. And supposedly in Hocus Pocus 2, if you are a super fan of the first one, there are tons of nods to the first one because it's 30 years later. But like, there's things like the outfits that the mom is wearing is the exact same outfit, but just in an adult size that she was wearing as a child, or someone was wearing as a child. There's a thing where there's kind of a twist at the end where one of the Sanderson sisters like criticized the brother or the sister early on, and then she actually ends up doing the same thing at the end of the second one. No spoiler alerts. I just saw a TikTok about it. There's like, people whistling songs from the first one. Hey Sandy, you saw it. I do want to see it, but I'm just not like chomping at the bits to see it. Is there a song? Is there a performance? Because I do enjoy I put a spell on you and now you're mine. I do like that scene. I think it's funny, and I do think it's witty. So, Sandy, the reason you didn't pay attention when it first came out, Sandy, is that it wasn't popular when it first came out. When it first came out, when you and I were younger, it was not a hit movie. It was just kind of and I've even seen some people say it was a flop when it came out. But it's fun to jump on the bandwagon. I agree. I think it's fun. Again, I'm not criticizing the show at all. I just didn't get the mass appeal of it. So we were dressing up as his sisters for Halloween. That'll be fun. I bet there's a lot of people who are going to. And Eric, again, my age. Eric is 6 months older than me. Don't think he ever saw the first one. So, do you have to watch the first one to understand the second one, Sandy? Like, is there kind of a prerequisite on that? I'm curious about that. So, and then speaking of movie flops, Eric will find this interesting. So, it has been deemed that the movie Bros is a flop. The movie Bros, which is the first like mainstream gay rom-com that came out with Billy Eichner and Luke, not McFarlane, that's somebody else. Luke somebody. Or is that his name? Anyway, it made $4.8 million this weekend at the box office. It cost $20 million to make or something like that, or $30 million to make, and they spent another $20 million marketing it or something like that. Luke McFarlane. Okay, so I was right. So Billy Eichner, who, by the way, I cannot stand. I will go see the movie. I do want to see the movie, but here's my thing on it. Why did they think that movie was going to do well? For multiple reasons. Let's remove the gay thing first of all. We'll come back to that. Let's put that in a little pocket here. We'll come back to it. Remove the gay thing. Who is going to movie theaters to see rom-coms right now? Like, I feel like the only reason that any movie theaters are doing well still, because all of our habits have changed. We're all into streaming. We all have new hobbies, all that kind of stuff. Is you go to the movie to see like a blockbuster like Top Gun Maverick, or you go to see a super famous thing like I've seen two movies. I've seen Top Gun Maverick and Where the Crawdads Sing. Both movies that I wanted to see on the big screen because they're so beautiful, so popular, like so critically acclaimed, all that kind of stuff. But I don't think that I would think about. I mean, unless I would go see Bros because it's kind of my thing. But the general populace, like that, like why would they roll it out in a movie theater anyway, thinking that everyone was going to show up to go see it? First of all. Secondly, it's the first gay rom-com. Why did they roll it out in broad release? Why is it showing in Kokomo, Indiana? Why is it showing in Lincoln, Nebraska? Why is it showing in, well, probably not Holstein, Iowa, but who knows? Like, stranger things have happened. But, like, why did they roll it out? They should have done it, like, to, like, a phased release so that it didn't feel like such a flop when it comes out. Like, started off in the major. This is movie chains or studios do this all the time. But like they'll roll it out in like the art house theaters or the Angelica types or like major cities, Dallas, Atlanta, LA, New York, that sort of thing, Seattle, but not Albuquerque, New Mexico or anything like that. But they did that on this one. They rolled it out to everybody, which I think was also a mistake. And it is yet to be seen. I bet it picks up. I bet it is a little ball that is going to. I bet ultimately it does make a profit. I bet ultimately it is a success because I bet on streaming it will become maybe. I haven't seen it well enough to know if it's a cult classic or not, but it may be one of those things that the gays saved the day again. So I do want to see it, and I do plan to see it. I just hate that the first one is considered a flop because of stupid calculus. Like the way they did it was wrong. Not that the movie is bad. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't tell you it's bad. I've seen one negative review of it. Everyone else who I have seen who's seen it loved it, thought it was funny, has seen it multiple times in some cases. I did see one person say, admittedly, this was someone who tends to suffer internalized homophobia, that it was too preachy. That at the beginning it was too preachy about stuff. But the whole cast is gay also. So there was a drag show in Holstein, Iowa. What? This past Sunday, Eric is reporting. I'll tell you about it on Friday. Man, what in the world has happened to Holstein, Iowa? And then back on Hocus Pocus, Sandy is saying, I think it helps to see the first one. I watched it a couple of weeks ago. I should blow up the movie projector thing in the front yard and just go out there and watch it. I love watching movies in the yard. Drag queens helped revive it. I would believe, again, drag queens save the day, always. Drag queens save the day. I love it. Um, and then my mother, I saw up here talking about skinny bitch. He's my alter skinny. Can't hold his liquor. Can't stand kids. Oh yes, I get it, Mom. He's my dream. He's my dream boat. He is my manifestation. Maybe in my Optiva or yeah, Optavia. Sorry, I can't say the name of the fucking diet. In my book, it's like, what do you plan to be? I'm like, grumpy. That's what I plan to be, grumpy. So, is Carrie going to be with you tomorrow? You know what? I've not talked to her this week. I've texted with her, but that has not come up. So yet to be seen. I will check. She's been having to go into the office a lot more. Sometimes she tunes in. I don't think she's here right now. So, alrighty. Well, I think I have got everything covered in the comments. And that's my card. I'm done. Alrighty. Well, with that, I'm gonna say bye. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watched this. I will keep you posted on how the tuna melt waffles turn out. I actually didn't talk about that very much. I'll talk about it tomorrow. I have high hopes because anything in waffle form has to be good, right? Claire is very excited about it. We already have the cream cheese sitting out, softening, all of that. So I will keep you posted, and I'll talk to you tomorrow at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say? Talk to you later. Bye.